Hey everybody, welcome to my garage where I'm doing a little experiment with sand shrimp or ghost shrimp if you're down in California. It's the same thing. So, of course, sand shrimp is awesome bait and we'd all love to just be able to get sand shrimp whenever we want it. But the reality is it's not always available. If it's windy on the coast or, storms or whatever, I've heard of it all now, but getting deliveries of sand shrimp on a regular basis is difficult. And also, when you, I'd order a bunch of sand shrimp one week, and then the next week, for whatever reason, people aren't fishing or whatever, and they close the sturgeon or they do something or another, and to where I get stuck with a bunch of sand shrimp that just die, and that's just throwing away money, and that's not a good way to do things. On the East Coast, they have tackle shops or bait shops more what are just rooms full of big giant tanks full of shrimp, different kind of shrimp, but shrimp are similar. I have in the house I've got a tank full of like cherry shrimp, like aquarium type shrimp, and they reproduce and breed and they're crazy. They're really cool, and I think they're a lot more fragile than these things because these things got to be tough the way they get treated, and they still last for 4 or 5 days in a little styrofoam container. So I'm hoping that I can develop a system here that will keep the sand shrimp alive and available on a continuous basis. So if you have any experience with this or advice on this, I'd love to hear it. I'm just trying to figure this out. I've got about 26 gallons of water in here on a pump and the filter that will cycle through, and I think I can control the ammonia. I've got some sand in here, try to buffer the pH a little bit. But so far, so good. About 2 weeks, and these guys are doing good. And I think out of the 7 dozen I put in here, I've lost, 7 or 8 now. Not all at the same time. Just every once in a while I lose one. Now, crazy thing is, look at this. There's one here that looks like he's dead, right? This guy looks like he's dead. But if I get him going, see? He's actually alive. The craziest things. They play possum. I don't know. They just do that. They like to lay on their back sometimes and flip over, and you think, oh, maybe they're dying, but that one's been doing that little one, for, a week and a half now. So these things are really cool. The thing about it is on the coast, they're considered a pest, right? The oyster farmers hate them. In fact, they used to poison them, spray them. And they had to stop doing that. But the problem is these guys are like earthworms where they dig up, they dig the ground up, right? So they're down in like Willapa Bay and different flats like that, lots of muddy sand, and they dig their little tunnels down in there and cause it to be very unstable. And the oysters grow on the surface and fall down into the mud. So the oyster farmers hate them. But the thing is, the native oysters, the Olympia oysters, they were over harvested and wiped out a long time ago. So the ones that are being grown now commercially are, I think they came from like Japan, that area. But they lay on the surface. But the native Olympia oysters would bury down into the mud and create a hard layer that the sand shrimp couldn't penetrate. So they didn't really compete with each other that much. And also there's a theory about less fresh water flushing down because of the dams and so forth, because the fresh water, when that flushed through big rains and the floods, it would wipe out a lot of the sand shrimp and control the population. So there is apparently a population explosion out there on the coast, but we can't always get them in here to fish with. So this little experiment I got going, if I can keep them going a month this way, and everything's good, then I'll start offering these in the store and hopefully have live healthy sand shrimp all the time, and that would be really cool. And they do eat. I've got them eating some dried seaweed. They eat fish food. I got some shrimp pellets that I feed the shrimp I have inside, and they seem to do well with it. They're really pretty cool creatures. They are survivors. I see how they make it out there now. And just I know how tough they are, even though they look so fragile, especially if you just know them as being in a cup, and you use them for bait. But they're some neat little creatures and really good bait. So let me know if you have any advice on this. I'd sure like to hear it. Take her easy.